Hello. Thanks for joining us again at our another Unisharks podcast. It's been a minute, but glad to be back. Today, the host is I, Mr. Lemon Shark, joined by my co-hosts Hammer and Mako.
Hello.
I could just imagine you in one of those like mystery TV shows where you're seeing that like that big letter Harry like, "Hello, it is me again. Welcome."
Dude, who knows? Maybe I'm sitting under the chair. No, I'm not. But anyways, well, thanks again for joining. So today we have a couple topics in mind. Mako, actually, first before we get into the topics, Mako, do you want to go over our meme? I guess just say not meme of the week, but meme of the month, I guess.
Meme of the month. Yeah, we had a few good ones. One that we all kind of liked was some of you might remember Aladdin and the Prince of Thieves or King of Thieves. So they brought Robin Williams back to be the genie, and he takes out all the thieves and says, "By the way, this is brought to you by sand. Sand, it's everywhere." And the next panel is Anakin screaming, like absolutely screeching.
Yeah.
I don't like sand. So we all thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, and I love how Robin Williams, yeah, right? Robin Williams is like, you better get used to it. As soon as he does that, he just starts screeching, "I hate you."
Yeah. I'm so glad they got him back for that movie.
For real. What was the other top mentioned?
The other one was it was from Lego Star Wars. It was Yoda driving a tractor. There is a part where you go through the Dagobah swamps and you just drive a tractor around farming all these gold studs, and it's just Yoda listening to country music as you go around on it. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like that one. Anyways, well, so on to our topics. Yeah, Mako's and I's topics are kind of similar, so I guess I'll go first with my topic. Yeah, I've just been noticing something, a trend with Instagram, because my Instagram is my preferred social media drug of choice, and I don't have TikTok or I don't do Facebook anymore. Instagram's my deal because I don't want to do TikTok and all that stuff. But anyways, off topic. I've noticed. I wonder if you guys noticed this too, but I wondered. Um, I've noticed that Instagram is becoming like more and more unhinged, and I was wondering if you guys noticed that as well. For example, I've noticed like there's a high number of like reels that show people getting like seriously hurt and like even people getting killed, and I've just not just cursed content too. Like there's a lot of cursed content, people like making stuff that's like weird and cursed, but just like people getting like hurt in terrible ways and stuff. And I've also noticed the comment section is like becoming more and more toxic. I feel like ever since Twitter turned into X and Elon Musk is going over it, all the toxic Twitter users are coming over to Instagram, and I wondered if you guys noticed that as well.
I'll go first. Definitely, especially in the past probably year actually, it's gone really unhinged. I wouldn't say it was from Twitter. I mean, there probably is a good amount, but um, actually, I have no idea where they came from. It's just gotten worse. But it's blatantly a lot more racist, and
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot more racism in there as well.
and suicidal, which I guess you can't say that on Instagram. And everyone, I don't know. It's kind of a free for all. Everyone makes fun of everyone. Like I saw on one post of I don't know what to say without sounding mean, but other than especially abled. And then they're like, well, at least the comments aren't disabled. And I'm quoting, I
Oh.
didn't say it.
I swear the comments are something else, man.
I know. And then there's this one chick's page. I could easily tell what school she goes to, but I don't want to say too much because I feel like there would be actual followers that would do something stupid. But it's just like her making very bad dad jokes, and then the comments are just horrible. You're like, "Oh, that was so funny!" Like poop on my chest, or like pee on my
Wait, what?
food,
Oh, like
or
weird sexual stuff.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
But they always be like, "Oh, that was super funny." Like don't sell me drugs anymore, please, or
Huh.
they're really bad. Where this one page that like calls out like creeps and stuff. um he made a whole like post about it, and people just like bashed him so badly for it from like the comment section of her from her comment section, and be like, she's like, she's not gonna sleep with you, bro. Like, what are you doing? And a bunch of other, oh gosh, like a lot of her stuff tends to have the comments disabled later on, but until they do, it's just like a huge cesspool. It's so bad.
Oof.
But yeah, no, that's definitely have increased in like the last year at least, I'd say. But maybe it was because of Twitter, which I don't know. I could care less about Twitter.
I remember Reddit users were worried they would all go over there after
Well, they
that, but
have.
I guess y'all. Yeah.
Yeah. Reddit actually has become pretty tame comparatively.
Yeah, I was actually about 2 weeks ago. I was looking at Reddit for the first time in a little bit. I ended up really enjoying it because it seemed like a lot of comment sections were either really thoughtful or it would just devolve into like jokes and movie quotes. So it was either really thought provoking or really funny. There wasn't really anything bad or distasteful.
Mhm.
That's good.
Instagram, I don't notice as much, maybe because I'm not on as all that often. I do remember a friend sent me a reel. This lady was like showing how she got dinner for her 3 kids, and you can tell all 3 of them are disabled. So, and oh man, the comment section was so mean.
Mm.
Just stuff like, "Oh, I guess mom drank bleach all 3 times," or something like that.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
Gosh, shit. But man, yeah, for reals,
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where like anytime like there's something with kids, I just kind of like click uninterested because like there's always someone in the comment section be like, "This is child abuse," when it's like just like a father and their daughter like just playing around, and I don't know, just
Oh yeah.
it's like even like the most wholesome stuff, people are calling out like child abuse. The same with like cats, like any cat video or any
Exactly.
dog video, people are like, "This is animal abuse. Like, how dare you do this?" And it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's always animal abuse. That's what
Mhm.
there's never at least there's always one comment that says that.
Yeah, for reals.
I remember a few months ago when we had Nicole on here, we were talking about how people do the same thing for even cartoon characters like Chili from Bluey. People saying, "Oh, she's being a terrible mom, talking to her kids that way," and she's like one of the most wholesome mothers and probably in fiction right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like how many people actually have kids, you know? It's like, come on.
Yeah, or that one lady that's like, "Hey, I'm showing my kids are having mac and cheese and they're really loving it," and then she had to put an edit saying, "I don't just feed my kids mac and cheese. Like, thanks, guys. I know how to parent."
Yeah, if I were a parent, if I had kids myself, I would definitely not post anything on Instagram or social media at all involving them at all. Just unless I have like a like friend or close friend slash family group where like only like family members and friends see it, but definitely not public.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like maybe Facebook, but not something public like Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, especially the way that Instagram is. It's like you're bound to get like lots of hate no matter what you do. But yeah, I've also noticed too, like I mentioned before, like a lot of people just like dying on there. Like I remember seeing like a truck exploding and some person getting like shot like over road rage and stuff like that, and even like
Jeez.
even like gym, like people working out in the gym and getting really hurt during that too. Like one dude is doing like a really heavy like pull or not pull up, crap, I'm blanking, a bench, and you just see
Oh,
his
bench press.
chest. Yeah, bench press. You see his chest, like his yeah, his chest abdominal detaching from his shoulder and just like ripping. And it's like, oh.
Oh, ah,
And the funniest thing too is that there's these posts or Instagram's trying to. I'm not sure if you guys seen this, but there's like a trigger warning, like insensitive, like sensitive content, or Instagram is deemed as sensitive content. Like click to see anyway, or click to see why. And like half the time I click and see anyway, it's like some really dumb like meme crap, like like one time like there's this like penguin, like someone edited a penguin turning into a rocket and blowing someone up, and that's like labeled as um mature, like mature content or something like that. It's like half the time it misses, like the filter misses like stuff that's actually like disturbing. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's my spiel on Instagram so far. If no one else has anything else to add to social or to Instagram being unhinged, we can go to Mako's topic next.
yeah, mine was related. It was a little bit more about social media in general. Kind of the pros and cons of like being part of gaming communities on different social media platforms. So, I mean, I think the pro, of course, is that you meet people that enjoy, the same games you do. Like, I play Fire Emblem Heroes on my phone, so I'm part of the Reddit, and we end up seeing a ton of fun fan art, ton of like discussion about, is the game going in a good direction? Is there something that needs to be improved? And that's all great stuff. So I think the con is that you start kind of seeing tribalism sometimes. Like every now and then there's a group of people, it might be for a game or for a console, they suddenly start acting really mean, like really snotty towards other people. So, like, for example, I see a lot of stuff from Tekken players, making fun of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, saying Tekken's so much better, and like really nasty, unnecessary comments about it. And the biggest would be that it's been kind of pushing the console wars between Xbox and PlayStation. So, especially recently, because Xbox announced they're putting 4 of their games on PlayStation and Switch. So it's just like being a member of that community, it's like watching it implode.
I can imagine.
Yeah, like on the one hand, you have the PlayStation players making really nasty comments and just making everything worse. And then on the other hand is these Xbox players, these Xbox fans having like complete meltdowns over these 4 games. And like, oh my gosh, the stuff they've said. Like, there's one guy that ended up muting because he was getting kind of weird even before it happened. So someone shared a tweet that he made, and oh wow, I was like reading the ramblings of some lunatic. Like he's going, Xbox has betrayed me, and I know all their secrets, and they're gonna pay for this.
Oh dang!
So
Somebody
I
needs to go outside and touch grass.
mean, yeah, I sentence you to touch grass. So, and I mean, like, I want to say he was drunk when he made it. Even like just reading it, it's like this is barely cohesive. All I get is that you hate Xbox now. But it's just kind of sad because most normal people, they just want to play a game. They just want to play the game of their choice. Some people are like, well, I prefer Xbox. I like Halo. I like Gears of War.
Some people want to get PlayStation. They're like, I like God of War. I like Zero Horizon West. So it's like, why? Why do you see some people making it a part of their personality where they feel like they have to bash someone else's console to feel good? So yeah, it's something I've noticed across a lot of social media besides Reddit. Weirdly, I mean, we were just talking about how like Reddit seems more chill, and yeah, like all I see on Reddit is stuff like this game works better on PlayStation than Xbox. Oh, that's a shame. Hopefully they update it soon so it works great for all of us. And that's like the extent of it. So I mean, what do you guys think?
Mm. I feel like that's going to be like whatever fandom you go into. There's going to be like gatekeepers or elitists that think whatever they're into is better than everybody else. They just want to fight over it. Like I noticed it a lot in the music scene. Like people like turn like a liking a music or band into their like religion. And anyone has anything negative to say about a specific band or anything, they just take it so personally and be like, "Oh my gosh, it's horrible." And like I've heard like the quote saying like, "Nobody hates metal more than metalheads," because there's all these metalheads. There's all these metalheads that are like trashing like whenever like a band gets big, they're like, "Oh, they're mainstream now. They're not real. They're not real like metal, or they're not like they're overrated." And it's just like, guys, chill.
Yeah.
It's like, don't you want to see like an artist you like get successful and be able to actually like reach people? Like, it makes some sense to me.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So I will say it's not as bad as it used to be. At least it's not as physical as it used to be.
Physical?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say people really got uh, too many physical fights, but it's more online, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but it's not as bad. It really was one of the biggest issues was during Call of Duty and Halo. Those kind of ones, they're one of the main instigators because Halo was Xbox only, and then um,
And
Call
it's
of Duty
better.
wasn't. This is Call of Duty wasn't, but it had kind of like some PlayStation priority. Right, I can't remember. So it was always kind of associated with PlayStation. And then it was always like, oh, our PlayStation 3s have Blu-ray players, so that makes them automatically better. And and it's like, oh cool. We don't care. We don't use shapes. We don't play with blocks anymore, you know?
We've
And
moved
which
on to letters.
yeah, which honestly I don't know why they use shapes, but it's whatever. It's a PlayStation thing. Um and then Nintendo's always kind of been in the background.
Oh yeah, and that's the funny thing. Nintendo players are so chill, like everywhere. Never an issue with them.
Yeah, it's usually the company itself that people have problems with of like
Yeah.
lack of sales never happening. I mean, like I still see Breath of the Wild that came out over 5 years ago now. Came out in 2016, 2017, and it's still people they still want $50 for it. I'm like, guys, stop. Just stop doing this. That's not how no one likes you for doing this.
Yeah.
But kind of going back to the console type thing. I mean, we kind of covered this topic a bit before, but it's just really what you started with, and that's just how you're gonna stick with. You're just gonna stick with it, you know. But a lot of games that are exclusive aren't exclusive anymore, and they don't really make exclusives anymore, except Peppa Pig for some reason. Um,
Interesting.
and so it's really just your personal preference now. And so if you're really arguing about it, it's kind of redundant. It's like there's not too much of a point to do so. Like, for example, like Helldivers 2 is cross-platform, but it's only between PlayStation and Steam, which is weird. But everyone that's been playing it wants it to be on Xbox because they want more players to join them. And so
Yeah.
that's the company there that's limiting it. And it like there's a demand for it. And then another game, Warframe, just made cross saving. So now you can save on your PlayStation or Xbox or even Switch and still play on your Steam and all have the same account.
Which is so nice.
And you can play with people across every single platform too.
Ooh.
And it's like there is a demand for it. But the issue I think is that companies are like, how do we make sure we get all the player base on our platform? And so to me, I feel like we need to support the companies that are allowing crossplay and then make the console companies themselves make better products and cheaper products to try to pull in customers. Because if everything's crossplay, it really is just a matter of preference. It won't matter what you play on.
Yeah.
And then I don't think there would be such a like conflict between the consoles and all that. It would just be the PlayStation people that are narcissists. I mean, not PlayStation, sorry. PC.
Oh. Oh yeah.
PC players are so. I'm sorry, you guys are dumb. I play PC, but
We all do.
We all do, yeah.
Okay.
We all play PC together.
let me rant. Let me rant a little bit. And this is why it kind of bugs me because like they always say the PC is superior race. Bullcrap. But it's like, yes, computers weren't made to play games though. Consoles were. They were made first just for games. That was their purpose. Computers were meant for everything else. Computing, doing stuff, make it easier for humans so they don't have to. And so just because this quote unquote it's easier to upgrade, that doesn't mean that they were meant for games. Consoles were meant for games because they're based off arcades. Even though the first type of game that was tic-tac-toe was on like a something graph that is hooked up to a computer, but that's beside the point. That was designed. That was designed for a game. So I was able to play tic-tac-toe off something that was used to measure something else. Okay.
Yeah, I still like playing on PC.
Oh yeah,
I see what you mean
play
though
on
too.
it too.
I see
But
what you mean though. It's kind of nice. It's nice being able to like use the console just for playing games because when you go on the computer, there's so much other stuff you could do on it. It's like, oh, I should do schoolwork. I should do this and do that. It's not like, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I feel like consoles are kind of more reliable. Just in like I have a gaming laptop and an Xbox Series X. Oh, and a Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is like 6 years old at this point. Yeah, I think it was one of like that first run because I bought it secondhand, and still runs fine. Like other than some stick drift we've had to fix every now and then, like the console itself is fine. And my Xbox is like 2 years old at this point. I got it for $500. Still runs perfectly fine. And then my laptop is 3 years old and it overheated so much it fried one of its own USB ports, and I had to have that removed. And there are times I have to remind it to turn its fans on, or else it starts overheating bad and throttling itself.
yeah. Well, people would say, "Well, it's because you got a gaming laptop and not a computer."
Yeah, and even then, I'm like, I had to pay $1,400 for the laptop, and I've seen people pay like twice that for a proper gaming computer.
Yeah, I mean,
They
I
get
feel
out
like,
of date really quick too.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, they're all like 4090s right now, um, which are stupidly expensive. At least last time I checked, they could be better now. But I mean, people made computers to play games. Um, that's not what I'm trying to say. They had to change the purpose of computer to play games when consoles were made just to play games. You're not going to use a console to be a computer, even though they're both computers.
yeah. Well, I remember we all have a friend. We've mentioned him once or twice on here before, named Christian. At oh, well, at one point his computer was having trouble, so he thought about using somebody's Xbox to do his homework because they can access internet browsers.
Mhm.
So I thought that was funny.
Okay, the 4090, they still want 1600.
Jeez.
So,
Man.
I will say one big advantage of PC gaming is just modding.
oh
Like
yeah,
the stuff you can do with
Oh
modding
yeah,
is insane. Like my
that's pretty
sister,
loud.
yeah, well, pretty loud.
Oh, pretty wild. The
Oh,
mods.
yeah, like my sister beat Skyrim in 3 weeks because she used a mod to bring in a Dova bear, which is like a bear that can use the Dovahkiin shouts.
mm,
Yeah, he just wasted everything for her. She never had to do anything.
yeah, your sister would be lazy like that.
Yeah. Well, then I've seen people like, recreate entire other video games on like Skyrim or Ark is like Ark Survival Evolved is really pushing modding nowadays. So I remember one guy made like the entire Resident Evil mansion and filled it with actual enemies from Resident Evil for you to play through on Skyrim. It's just insane. Like you buy one game and just with mods you can get hundreds of hours worth of content out of it,
Mhm.
mostly for free too.
It's
My
crazy.
my only issue with mods is I feel like people first need to play the game as it looks originally before you put all the shaders and all the different types of mods. Because there's quite a few people that are like, "Oh, it's too ugly for my eyes. I'm gonna make it beautiful before I can even play it." You know, it's like, okay, you little pansy, just just play the game and then you can do everything out. You know, like you're spitting
Yeah.
in the eyes of the developers. Like stuff's ugly like that. Okay, the mods are really fun otherwise.
That would be funny. I can imagine hearing, I bought your game so I could mod it into a totally different game.
It's like, what? Develop your own game then.
Yeah. So, but something else, and this should transition into Hammerhead's topic. McDonald's, well, there's a few bits of news. McDonald's recently announced its own anime.
It's a whole different topic.
Yeah. Just a brief one I wanted to touch on. Like, anyone who's watched in a few animes will probably see at some point there's a license-free version of McDonald's named Wcdonald's or something like that.
Yeah, no, all anime. Yeah.
Yeah, so McDonald's, after a few years of making some pretty funny anime commercials in Japan, decided to just say screw it and make a full-on Wcdonald's anime, and apparently it's an isekai too.
Yeah, I didn't tell you, Lemon, about it. Did you hear about it?
I have not, no, but that's pretty hilarious though.
and,
Yeah,
I
and
do
I,
know I do know about the McDonald's, especially amongst I didn't know it was among anime, but I did notice it a lot in webcomics, the McDonald's.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. They just flipped the M. make it a W and everything. And so on the actual McDonald's page, it's the Wcdonald's universe.
Universe.
And then until the 24th of this month, so March, they're gonna have weekly anime episodes or like shorts, whatever, and manga chapters. I don't know if there's gonna be both or it's gonna switch, or like only a third of them is gonna be whatever. I guess it's gonna be on the app, but you can find them later on. And then there's gonna be, I didn't see this until now, a little game. It says after your 10-piece McNuggets purchase, play a signature move in the app and get the weekly password to unlock the secret room in McDonald's UEFN experience created in Fortnite.
What?
Oh goodness. McDonald's is invaded Fortnite. Oh goodness.
I don't know if it's in Fortnite, but yeah, we'll find out. So yeah, that's happening till 24th. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's reality now. Oh, what was the other thing?
The collaborative sauces.
Oh, no. Yeah, they have the sauces, but the anime for the shorts is going to be animated by Studio Period or Period or whatever. Pierrot. This studio. Do you know anything about them, Lemon?
I do not know.
Okay. So they are the studios that were in charge of Naruto, Boruto, Bleach.
Oh.
I'll just look it up. Black Clover.
Oh, jeez.
Somewhat known series.
And they're making a McDonald's.
Yeah, they're
Isekai.
rebuilding Valve. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Oh yeah, Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, really? Took a
Yep,
go, huh?
yep. They're in charge of those guys. And then apparently Aki Bright is going to be the manga illustrator, which I don't know what they've done before. Let's see.
Oh, good on them. At least they're not like using AI just to do it. So they're actually hiring someone to do it.
No,
I know,
true.
right?
Good point.
Mhm. But to be honest, though, if they did use AI, they'd be canceled so hard for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess Aki Bright has worked for stuff for DC
Oh.
and yeah, this other book, I can't remember what it's called. This is B/W. Yeah, I don't know if they've written anything else, but yeah, so it's kind of funny. They're putting out money for that.
It's kind of working. I want to go to a McDonald's now.
I know.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, maybe I should get a 10-piece McChick. How do they call them? They said the McChicken nuggets.
Yeah. McNuggets. Chicken McNuggets.
So, yeah, I don't know how long the sauce is gonna last for. Probably until the 24th as well. So,
Yeah, that's the main reason I want to go. It sounds like good sauce.
okay, yeah, 24th. No, you get double points if you order through the app.
Ooh.
I guess it's a savory chili sauce. So,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, that's some exciting news. I had to call Mako like at the dead of night once I was just showering, and you know how you listen to your music and sing along and all that, like everyone does. And a commercial popped up because I'm cheap and I don't want to pay subscriptions for music. And the
Fair enough.
McDonald's came up. I'm like, wait, what? It was such a surprise. I had to call people and tell them. I just didn't call you Lemon because I was assuming you were working. So.
So keep an eye out for that, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hopefully it's still out by the time I put up this episode. I'm a lot busier than I have been in the past, so editing might take me longer. Anyways, anything else with that topic?
I think I'm good on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm good as well. So I guess we'll wrap that up for tonight, folks. Thank you all for listening, and
Oh.
thank you.
Did you not
Wait,
want?
somewhere.
Did you want mine?
I thought that was your topic.
Oh no. That was like the introductory part, I guess.
My bad. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Thank you.
I'll
All right,
cancel that up.
so going along, also the Borderlands movie was announced, and personally, I don't know how much I feel about it. I know, Mako, you might be more excited, but
Yeah.
I was thinking more along the lines of not just Borderlands movie, but it's kind of a little more popular in the past, 5 years or so, to make movies or shows off of video games, such as the Master Chief, Halo, Borderlands, obviously the Mario movie, Sonic.
Yeah.
Um, any other recent ones? Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so I wanted to ask you two guys your opinion about this. Is if you know a company or a studio is going to make a show or movie based off of a game, what would you want to see from that studio? Like for the movie, like do you want like a 1-to-1 ratio of the game? Um, what kind of actors would you want? Like music, setting, whatever. What would you say is like some of your requirements that you would want them to have before making um the movie or show?
Um, my number one requirement would have to be you have to either have at least one genuine fan on the development team, like on the team, or you and your entire production team need to go and look at the source material, play the game, read the books, whatever it is. Because if you're not making it, at least with the fans in mind, then why are you even making it? Like I get like adapting something to a certain point so it's more palatable for wider audiences. Like, the Marvel comics, a lot of them get really goofy and really weird, but they toned it down for the MCU, and that ended up being a huge success. But when, for example, at the Halo show, you hear about the team for the first season didn't play the games or do any kind of research because they wanted to do their own thing, that lost a lot of faith, like right away.
Mhm.
So, and now the second season I'm hearing is a lot better because it's more closely based off of Halo Reach. So, and it's been getting a lot more positivity around it.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest issues once I heard about it. It's like I don't even know how many books there are now. There's even books with like designs for stuff. And there's at least to that point 5 mainline games with 4 to 6 side off games, the 2 Halo Wars, the 2 top down games, and then something else like no, I can't remember. But it's like, why'd you just completely ignore them?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Um, I think like whoever owns the original IP has to be a little more involved. Like I think part of the reason the Super Mario movie worked was because Shigeru Miyamoto was one of the executive producers.
Hmm.
So, at least, he was there to say, okay, this is good. And, it ended up being a really fun movie. Like, kind of exactly what I was looking for in a Mario movie.
Good.
So, just like having someone there to make sure it's good and that the fans are going to like it. That's like the main thing.
Would you want someone that's famous though? Like there's a lot of famous voice actors in the Mario movie. Would that be like a requirement?
Oh, uh, for me, it just has to be a good performance. Like, with the Mario movie, they definitely picked those actors just for their celebrity.
Except
Like,
Jack Black.
not, well, yeah, Jack Black was amazing. He was the best part. But they all did a decent job, and like the fun part was seeing how they all got really into it. And they all went to the premiere. Jack Black was wearing a custom tuxedo with Bowser decorations, and Anya Taylor-Joy showed up in like a pink motorcycle suit, I think, like Peach.
Mhm.
So like if it is better, I think, if the actors themselves care about it too. Like there's this one thing called Warhammer 40K. It turns out Henry Cavill is a huge fan of it, and he wants to make a movie. So I'm like, go ahead. If you're a big fan of it, I trust you to know what you're doing. Like I heard he was one of the reasons why The Witcher did pretty well for its
Oh
first
yeah,
few
definitely.
seasons, because he's a big Witcher fan.
Yeah, the first season was actually really good because of him, and now they're changing him, and no one likes it. Okay,
Yeah.
how about you, Lemon?
I'm not sure. I've noticed that a lot of the game adaptations recently that have done the best, or at least the ones I've liked the most, were like prequels to the actual like game story itself, and I think I like that because it gives this gives the TV show like an identity of its own. So it's like it's still in the same universe, but yet it's still in the same universe, but still adding value to the franchise. I guess it's not like trying to do a one-to-one adaptation, because one-to-one adaptations are kind of messy sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking of like Cyberpunk, the Edge Runners, and also the Castlevania and Arcane. Those ones are really cool because they're like prequels to the actual game itself, and I've noticed. I feel like that's a good way to go, and I feel like Avatar: The Last Airbender would have benefited better instead of trying to adapt the almost said cartoon. I guess the cartoon itself. They should have just like done a prequel, I think, or done something with like the previous ones, because it's still in the same universe, but it's also its own thing as well. So
Yeah.
Are you talking about the new one that's coming out right now?
yeah, the one that came out. I haven't watched it. Also, have no opinions on it, but just from what I've seen from trailers and all that, I'm like, why is this made? It doesn't feel really necessary. It doesn't really feel like it's adding much. It feels like it's just trying to. It's not really made to add any more value. It's trying to get people who don't watch animated stuff to watch it. It's like they're trying to expand the reach to people who don't watch animated stuff. That's how I feel a lot about some of the video game adaptations. I feel like they're not really trying to make it. Well, I guess they are kind of making it for the video game audience, but at the same time, they're making it for people who don't play video games. For example, The Last of Us. Like, The Last of Us doesn't really need an adaptation, but they're making an adaptation because people don't play video games and they want people who don't play video games to experience the story. So, but yeah, it's my little spiel on it. I think some adaptations are really good, but I think the cool of doing the prequels or doing something within the same universe, so it's not taken away from the actual game itself or the thing it's trying to adapt, but also adding to the universe, I guess. But
Kind of like the Pokemon show.
Yes.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I never played the Pokemon game, so I can't really say. But
No, but I don't know. I really like that point there, Lemon. Like, honestly, I th- I think they would have done a lot better because so far I haven't really heard too many things about the new Avatar show. But if they did it, when he was like older, a teenager, or when he's old as an adult and he has kids, you know, I think that would have been better received. Because because there's just such a huge expectation when one of these things are made. And so, like, one of my kind of requirements that Mako actually touched up on was I was thinking, it's like if every single actor has to play the game and the directors and everything. They don't have to read every single source material because that would take away production time. But like, you got to play the game at least. And it's like, in in the Borderlands trailer, people were complaining about it because it doesn't really feel I guess, chaotic enough. Like the girl that's supposed to be playing Tiny, is it Tiny Tina?
Yeah.
Um, People are like, "Oh, she's not crazy enough," and stuff like that. And well, I could tell. I don't know if she's played the game or not, but I think she's doing a good enough job of what the director's telling her to do.
Yeah.
And and so if these people play them kind of like Henry Cavill, they would want to give that character justice of who they're portraying. And so even if direction's kind of bad, you can still say the characters really is pretty good, or up to how they are, written out in the games. But I still like that point of what you're talking about there, Lemon. That would probably solve a lot of issues with those type of things. Because like the shows that you mentioned, the Cyberpunk, Arcane, and Castlevania, those ones are very well received. And they're in the same universe, same characters, but maybe like a different story or plot line. And so the company doesn't have to worry too much about messing up scenes. It's like all creating, like with Avatar, for example. It's like, oh, we gotta remember the airbending scene where we're faking Katara earthbending when they're like, oh, the lemur is earthbending. It's like, no, you idiot! It's the girl. It's like if they don't do that well, people are like, oh, that was a garbage episode because they didn't capture the humor of the original. And then that would kind of be a safer area. They would still have to kind of keep the same mentality, and that's why I'm saying that they have to at least play the game. So even if they're in a different setting, they're like, okay, this character would probably still act like this, even though they're in a different location. You know,
Yeah.
and so that's my biggest gripe right now is we're not given the enthusiasm that we are giving to the shows or the expectation of them. And so it's just kind of a disappointment.
Yeah. It feels like I mentioned before, it doesn't feel like it's being made for the gamers or the fan base itself. It's made to like try to bring other people who don't play games into it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you have a point. It's just if my friends that I know play the game and I haven't, and they say, "Oh, it was garbage," I probably won't either. Anyways, so you still have to please them, but you're still correct.
True.
Yeah. I kind of liked how they. Oh, sorry. Good.
Oh, my bad. I was about to say, have you guys seen the Mortal Kombat movie?
We watched it together. We
You
watched
watched
one
it
of them
together?
together.
That was
You
the
mean,
animated one.
you mean the live action one?
Yeah, live action one.
Oh no.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I don't know how I feel about that one because I feel like, I mean, it was cool, but at the same time, though, it's like Mortal Kombat isn't really that great story wise, anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I feel like it's an own little category there. But I just want to ask you guys that. What are you about to say, Makeup?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's kind of like, are they making it for the money or making it as like a something for the fans, as like a passion?
Mhm.
So I feel like, well, you mentioned Lemon, how stuff like Arcane and Castlevania have like they add value to the game. And you were saying are they just making this to bring more people into it? Sometimes, like when there is good stuff like that, you get the best of both. Like the fans are happy with it, and new people end up getting introduced to it. Like I remember when Arcane came out, I saw comments from people saying, "I've never heard of League of Legends before in my life, but I put this on just to check it out and ended up loving it, and now I know all about it." So it's like if you can make something that's good, well, faithful, but also really good, then you really can actually have it all. Please the fans, bring in new fans, and make a ton of money while you're at it.
Mhm.
Exactly. Make good stuff.
But anyways, that's kind of my topic there.
Sorry, I dropped my pen today. But anyways, well, cool. Do you guys have anything else to add to our subjects of today?
I guess speaking as a Borderlands fan, I'm okay with the movie so far. Like, it looks like dumb fun. It's not. It doesn't look as bad as it could be, but it doesn't look amazing either. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like I'll try to be open minded about it, but man, it is kind of weird that they cast Kate Blanchett.
I know.
She's so much older than
Really?
the character was in the actual game, and same with not Judi Dench. What was her name?
I know what you're talking about. Just
Yeah.
both the ladies. I think their voicing would be okay. They're just a little bit too old for the accent.
Yeah, and then Kevin Hart, he's about the right age. He's just like 2 feet too short.
But it is Kevin Hart. Oh, he is kind of funny though. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if they did like a animated movie.
see, that's why I've been.
Yeah.
Make it like
Some-
anime, like hire some studio in Japan to make it like get all the weebs on board.
Get all the weebs on board.
So many things would be so much better as like an animated series, like book series, like Aragon, for example. But okay, I'm not gonna reach there anymore. I don't want to like put out the our discussions anymore. But it's like so many things could have just been much better. Like redo Aragon, please. Just make an animated series. Come on, won't be that
For
hard.
real. For
Get so
real
much
stuff.
more. Get so much more detail in it too, because you don't have to worry about casting all the sets you have to make. Okay.
Yeah, they kind of see that with Invincible, like instead of doing a live action, they did an animated show of it. It's going off really well, and it's making the comic sales go up way high too. So maybe it'll be a trend. But I was about to say, oh yeah, it's quick little like thing about animated stuff. You guys know Brandon Sanderson, right? The fantasy author that has like 1 million books.
I only know the name.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him. I might have one of his books.
I haven't read any of his books myself, but I have family members who are like really obsessed with or really like his stuff, and they're talking about how people are trying to get him to license or studios are trying to reach out to Brandon Sanderson to like license like an animated TV show based off of one of his novels. And apparently he turned it down. He says he wants to do a live action instead because he says live action reaches more of an audience. It's like, bro, you're missing out. It's like, I don't know. I got kind of mad when I heard that because it's like, come on, like, give the animated scene like some love. It's like
Yeah.
just because it might reach more people doesn't mean it's always better. So I guess he wants to go for the Lord of the Rings vibe because he wants to become more mainstream, I guess, rather than niche. Because apparently in an interview he said that when Sony and Marvel released their Spider-Man movies, the Into the Spider-Verse, and Marvel released was it No Way Home or something? Anyways, it was obvious from a artistic and creative standpoint that the Into the Spider-Verse was the better movie, but yet more people went to go see the live action Spider-Man just because there's still that. How do I say it? There's still that kind of not gatekeeping, but like there's like vibe in like Western world where like cartoons or animated for kids, and they refuse to watch them just because it's animated type of thing. So
yeah, it's like a disconnect. It's
yeah,
people remember watching the animated shows when they're younger at Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. That's what people think of when they think of animated. And it's like, oh, it's going to be like SpongeBob, ain't it? And like, no, it's going to be completely different. But
and apparently, or go ahead.
I was just gonna say my only thing when it comes to books, I really do prefer series more than movies because it just does not get enough information or what is that? What is that term? Or
Easy.
like the environments, the
Setting.
the setting. There's like a specific name for it for books. But like that's not portrayed enough in movies.
World
Like
building.
world building, thank you.
Yeah.
Like you can get some of them, like Star Wars does a kind of decent job, Lord of the Rings does a fine job. Um, but if like series, you can take an episode to show like the towns or stuff around, and then you actually get more into the series itself because you feel like you're more in it. But okay, that's why I don't
Yeah.
really care for movies, especially live action. I like them, just it could be better.
Yeah. I think movies are better when a movie is based, or what's the word? A movie is made to be a movie rather than like an adaptation. But
Yeah.
this is like a short story. But anyways, I was about to say earlier, apparently when Arcane came out, there's people being like, I can't wait for the live action adaptation of Arcane.
Oh,
It's like, bro, you stupid. It's like the whole point of it.
Why
I
would
don't
you
know.
want a live action of Arcane, especially?
Yeah, it's like it looks so stupid if it's live action, you know?
I do not want to see a live action, or I don't even know what they're called, like the purple midget elf chick goblin things. Like that would not look good in a live action.
yeah.
Either, right? Especially, I don't know. It's like I'm sorry, but like that, it feels like live action. It looks so stupid, you know. That's why so many live action animes just don't do well, just because you can get away with a lot of stuff in anime versus live action. But yes,
I know. That's why I have no idea how they're doing a live action One Piece. There are so many disproportionate humans in that show. Like people are like 10 feet tall, like as big as a room. It's like, and they're human. Like, no, you can't do that in live action. And people, I'm pretty sure people bash on what's her name, Delvita. I think that's her name. She's a really big lady that eats the slim fruit, and then becomes really slim and sexy type, modelish type thing. And it's a really garbage fruit, in all honesty. But like, how are you going to portray that in a live action and make it look okay?
right.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But yeah, good talk. Good talk. But yeah, did you guys have anything else to add to the topics?
No.
No.
Okay. Right then. Well, thank you all again for joining us, and thank you all to our 2 or 3 listeners who listen to us. So we appreciate you, and thanks for tuning in. We will be back soon, hopefully, and we all hope you have a good one. Stay safe out there.
Bye.
Bye bye. I'll try to get out as soon as I can. But like I said, I'm busier than I was last year. So, all right.